Aloha and mahalo for joining me. I'm Janet and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you're here and I hope that you're having a great day because today I want to talk about honoring the desires of your heart. And I love this topic. I actually love all the topics I talk about. I just think that they're just amazing that we women can share these things with each other, and if there's men out there, I appreciate that too. Honoring the desires of your heart is so important. And I think about this topic a lot. That's why this came to mind. And I thought, well, you know what? This would be great to share with those that want to hear it, because I do have personal experiences with not honoring the desires of my heart. So there are some things that I'm going to share that I really want you to be open to. Maybe take some notes, stop the video, take more notes, and check in with your heart. And before I start talking about honoring the desires of your heart, I want to just start by saying that when I talk about that, honoring the desires of your heart, I'm talking about desires that are good and pure and bring love and joy and even service into the world. It's the kind of desire that you know that comes from God, or if you believe in a higher power, and you know that you have this desire to do good things that will benefit other people and just bring joy and light to the world. I'm not talking about anything dark, any type of dark desire or selfish desires where it's only about you and, it doesn't bring joy or happiness to anybody else. But also, I know that when you're talking about the desires of your heart, it's very personal. So even though you might have a desire to do good things, you might often think that it's selfish. And I'm here to tell you it's not selfish when you have that desire to do good things, to serve someone or do something good or create something beautiful in the world or do art or start your own business or travel, where you're doing good things. So I just wanted to say that before I start talking about the different points on honoring the desires of your heart. And the first thing I want to talk about is fulfillment. And pursuing what your heart desires often leads to like a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. And when you honor your true desires, you're more likely to feel content with the choices and things that you've done. And who doesn't want to feel fulfilled? And I know that I want to feel fulfilled. So think about that one. Okay, and the second point I want to talk about is about genuineness. Some people like to use the word authenticity. I think that word is just used too much, and it's kind of like hard to wrap your head around, like, what does authenticity really mean? Like being your true self, or if I'm being my true self, sometimes that can mean that I'm tired or I'm not in a good mood. So I think the word genuineness really captures what I'm trying to say better. Genuine means like what's in your heart, and genuineness is like listening to your heart, and listening to your heart allows you to live genuinely. And it can help with aligning your actions and your decisions with who you really are inside in your heart. And this also can foster a deep sense of self-awareness and self-acceptance, because we're really hard on ourselves. There's so many women that I know that are really hard on themselves about everything you can think of, just everything they do in their life. So think about genuineness. Who are you deep down in your heart that maybe nobody even knows what you're really like, but you know that that you have these certain thoughts and feelings and things like that that go on in your heart. And then the next thing I want to talk about is happiness. Happiness, following your heart, can lead to increased happiness and joy in life. Now, I want increased happiness, joy in my life, and I hope you do too. It seems like we're so stressed all the time that it's hard to feel that joy and happiness. I have to always make it a point. Okay, so also think about like when you engage in activities or pursue your goals that resonate with your innermost heart's desires, you're more likely to experience that genuine sense of happiness and well-being. And then the next point I want to bring up is about passion and motivation. Now, passion doesn't always mean something romantic. Okay, when you honor the desires of your heart, you tap into that passion and motivation. It's like this enthusiasm and drive that can fuel all your efforts and the things that you're trying to do. And just making it easier to overcome obstacles and helping you to persevere as you're pursuing your own goals and the desires of your heart. Okay, we need that passion and motivation to get us going. Sometimes it gets buried. It gets buried underneath all the have tos and shoulds that we have to do and the needs to. So think about that passion and motivation. Okay, and then the next part I want to talk about is personal growth, which is what I like to talk about all the time, because following your heart and the desires of your heart will often involve stepping out of your comfort zone. Yes, I've had to do that too. I'm sure you experienced at least once in your life with stepping out of your comfort zone and embracing new experiences. It can be scary. But this, stepping out of our comfort zone for personal growth, can lead to that growth and development that we need. And it challenges us. All the things that we do that make us uncomfortable and challenge us, that's where we learn and we grow the most. And we learn from this journey that we're on, because we're on this earth and we're on a journey. And hopefully we can get better as we journey through life and as we get older. And I love to talk about how we can get better as we get older too, because, we're going to get older whether we like it or not. That's just how life is. God created us that way. Okay, and then the next point I want to bring up is about stronger relationships. Honoring the desires of our hearts can lead to healthier and more fulfilling relationships. And at times it may not seem like it, but it's true. When you're true to yourself and your desires, you're better able to communicate your needs and boundaries. I talked about boundaries in my videos before. We need boundaries, especially as women, and we're better able to communicate that. Then it kind of helps to foster that deeper connections with those that we live with, like I talk about with family. Sometimes families are really hard to get along with. But in time, it starts to create this respect that people will start having for you and that you will start having for other people. And also, you'll have a respect for yourself and your own genuineness. Because if you don't respect yourself, it's really hard to respect other people. And so I want to encourage you to think about your relationships and what it's like, and how honoring your own desires, when you feel happy, it's easier to have happier relationships, even though somebody else in your family may be difficult. If you're in a good place, then it's easier to deal with these people. And the last point I want to make in this video is about reduce regret. Okay, I have a lot of regrets, as well as I know many other people do. But living in alignment with your heart's desires can help minimize feelings of regret. Okay, minimize. Sometimes it may not take it all away. That sometimes it just takes work. Sometimes we need God's help to take away that feelings of regret or stress and guilt that we feel from the things that we've done that we're not so happy about. But even if things don't always go as planned, knowing that you followed your heart can bring a sense of peace and acceptance and maybe even love for yourself. Honoring the desires of your heart is about just honoring yourself and loving yourself. Now, I'm probably going to make another video talking about loving yourself because that's a really hard topic that so many people have struggled with. And I know there are times where I really struggle with that too. But let's try to reduce any regrets that we could potentially have by not honoring the desires of our hearts. Because if you're not doing the things that light you up and the things that are most meaningful to you, it's hard to move forward in life with just being happy that you're alive. A lot of women have gotten sick because they're not honoring the desires of their heart. And I know I've been in that place before too, where I just bury it and just focus on everyone else and all the hundreds of things that I have to do that sometimes are necessary, but they're not important to me. So ultimately, honoring the desires of your heart allows you to live a more genuine, fulfilling, and meaningful life, which will enhance your overall well-being and satisfaction. And I want you to be all of these things. I want you to feel fulfilled and have a meaningful life, and I want you to be able to have that overall well-being and satisfaction and just feel joy. I want you to feel joy and happiness. We have to wake up in the morning feeling joy and happiness. And sometimes that takes work if we're not focused on the things that are important to us, that are the desires of our heart. All right. I want you to honor the desires of your heart, and we want to reduce any regrets. Okay. So please subscribe to this channel as you think about all of these things. And if you're ready to work with me, send me a message. I have all the information in the show notes. And if you're ready to honor the desires of your heart and start changing your life where you feel happy and joyful to be alive, you let me know and share in the comments your thoughts and feelings. And thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a great day. Aloha.